Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are continuing the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, chapter 2, part 2. So let's start the story. So last time we stopped till here. So let's continue. I could not understand why anyone would make such a will to pay such an amount for copying the Encyclopedia Britannica. Spaulding tried to cheer me up, but I was still unsure. I went to the office next morning, 10 o'clock a.m., and they had a room with a table and chair ready for me. Mr. Duncan Rose started me at A in the encyclopedia and left. He would come from time to time to check on me. Then 2 o'clock p.m. he bade me farewell. At the end of the week I was paid £4. This went on for 8 weeks, and today when I went to the office it was closed. I had never left the office before 2 p.m. I had copied all that was under A and hoped to reach B soon. As I was buying my own paper and ink, it did cost me a bit, but the pay was so good that I did not mind it at all. Then, producing a cardboard sign from his bag, he said, "This was stuck on the door this morning. The Red-Handed League has been disbanded." Sherlock and I let out a short burst of laughter, which our client did not like. Sherlock signaled to his chair, from which he had half risen, asking him to sit and continue his story. Sherlock asked him what steps he had taken when he found that the league was disbanded. He replied, "I was shocked for a while, but then I asked the nearby officers, and none of them had heard of any red-haired man. Then I went to the landlord, who told me my office was rented by a man named William Morris, who was using it till his office shifted to a more permanent place. The landlord gave me the address, but no one there knew anyone by the name William Morris either. Then I came straight to you, Mr. Holmes, for I heard you give advice to the poor who are in need of it," said Mr. Wilson. "And you were wise to do that. From what you have told me, I am afraid there may be graver problems hidden here. I will give you my option on the matter in 2 days," said Sherlock. Mr. Wilson said that the problem was serious indeed, as he lost his salary for a week. Apart from that, he would like to know why such prank had been with him. Wilson replied that he had been there for a month, and since he was willing to work for half the usual wages, Wilson had hired him. Sherlock said, "I'd like to describe your assistant to me. Small snout, very quick, no facial hair, and white splash of acid on his forehead." Sherlock smiled and asked if he had an ear-piercing, to which our client responded with an affirmative. With that, Sherlock bade him farewell and asked me what I made of the entire situation. I shrugged and told him it was nothing but bizarre to me. I asked him what he was going to do about it. He took out his pipe and started smoking, and it instructed me not to speak to him for exactly 50 minutes. It seemed that he had fallen asleep, and I was about to leave when he jumped from his chair and exclaimed, "I just remembered, Sarazet, is playing at the St. James Hall tonight. Let's go and hear them play. Sherlock dusted himself and urged to me. We left Baker Street and went to Mr. Wilson's home. Sherlock knocked and his assistant Vincent opened the door. Sherlock asked him the way to St. James Hall and he showed him the way. I was confused but decided not to interfere with my partner's mysterious ways. Sherlock then strolled up and down to pavement, knocking his cane on the ground. I asked my friend whether he had asked the way only to see the assistant, but Sherlock said that he had also wanted to see the knees of his trousers. That was satisfied to see what he had expected. Come, let's check out the surroundings. I have made it a job to know every corner of London, Sherlock said, and we loitered around the neighborhood for a few minutes before making our way to the concert. I questioned Sherlock on his interaction with Mr. Wilson's assistant. He smiled and said, "Now is the time for observation, dear Watson. I have met that young man before, and dare I say he is the fourth smartest man in London." Sherlock stood in the corner of the street and glanced along the line. "It's my hobby to have an exact knowledge of London. Let me remember the order of houses. Let us move to Violin Land for some play. But first we will have a sandwich and a cup of coffee." I knew Sherlock was a musician himself. Not only did he perform, but he was also a composer of extraordinary talent. He had a peaceful afternoon at St. James Hall as he enjoyed the music. As we came out of the hall, he remarked that he would like to go to Coburg Square, where a serious crime was going to be committed. "Doctor, you may go home now, but I would like you to help me tonight." So that's it for part 2 of chapter 2, The Red-Headed League. I'll see you in the next part of the chapter 2. Bye.